こんばんは。ファストペストへようこそ。司会はスーパースローです。北上の仮面祭りからの生放送です。友達のどこどもが解説ブースに一緒にいます。どこどもさん、こんばんはお元気ですか？
こんばんは、スーパースローさん。お元気ですね。今日のバトルをお楽しみにしています。
今夜は素晴らしいポケットモンスターバトルをご用意しています。関東対北上。
関東対北上ですか？なんか面白そうですね。
Yeah, so that was all the Japanese that I knew.
えそれだけ？あ、じゃあ、見ましょう。今回の First Paste。
All right, our first team tonight is a friend of the channel, the wonderful Kanto Suns, Specs Charizard, Sash Venusaur, Eject Button, Torkoal, Flame Orb, Ursaluna, Covert Cloak, Grimmsnarl, and Choice Band Dragapult. Because they have previously battled on the show, we won't have to do a full in-depth look at them tonight.
So, I see that the name has changed to V2. So does that mean that there have been some changes since last time?
I'm glad you brought that up. We actually have the change log here now if you want to run through that quickly.
Alright, let's see what we got here. So Charizard dropped Overheat and added Weather Ball. I assume that's probably like if you lose the Weather War or something like that.
Exactly. So if rain comes in, if hail comes in, Charizard now has an option to, take that weather, turn it against them. Also, it's a choice specs Charizard. If you are locked into Overheat for more than 2 turns, you just have those diminishing returns. And because this is a Pledge team with Fire Pledge on Charizard, Grass Pledge on Venusaur, that nuke button is more for the pledges, and you don't really find yourself clicking Overheat all that much anyways.
I see. Okay. Then Venusaur changed Terra type from Grass the Ghost. I'm assuming that was just forgotten from last time.
Yeah, just small optimization there.
Yeah. Grimmsnarl has a list of changes. Let's see. Dropped Fake Out at... So, Fake Out got swapped for T-Wave. Its speed's been increased, and its nature changed from Sassy to Careful. Could you remind me again what the difference is for the nature change?
Absolutely. So Sassy and Careful both increase special defense. However, Sassy does so at the cost of speed, whereas Careful does so at the cost of special attack. We can kind of see here that initially this Grimmsnarl was possibly designed as some kind of Trick Room counter, but really that was so rarely going to come up. So you drop the Fake Out. Now you have Thunder Wave to make your opponents slower, and Grimmsnarl is as fast as possible naturally, of course, now.
It's a speedy boy now. Alright. Then Dragon Bolt got its item changed from Choice Band to Dragon Fang, so it's gonna have more flexibility at the cost of a little damage. Garchomp's just been replaced with Ursaluna. He's been cut from the team.
Yes, goodbye Garchomp. We now have the Big Bear. Regular Ursaluna, of course, not Blood Moon. The team does need some sort of physical attacker. With this replacement, you still have that ground option, but I mean, Ursaluna... You see Ursaluna a lot in VGC, you don't see Garchomp a lot in VGC currently.
Fair enough.
So with that out of the way, we can actually have more time to look at the opposing team tonight, which is the Kitakami Magic. We have Safety Goggles Mousehold, Leftovers Annihilate, Citrus Berry Sinistra, Salt Vest Ursaluna Blood Moon, Rocky Helmet Incineroar, and Light Clay Klefki. It's a scaring looking team, bulky. What do you think?
First, the immediate thing that popped up was the very colorful EV stats on the mouse hold. I spot a very intimidating 2 special defense EV there. I'm sure that's being spec'd to survive the pledge combo from Kanto Suns.
Yeah, you never know where you're going to need those extra 2 EVs in any stat, especially when you have the only thing uninvested is special attack on that mouse.
I just noticed because of the 2 special defense, it also has 38 regular defense.
That may be a typo. I don't know. Or perhaps the trainer made a mistake. Who knows? So,
anyways, so with the actual team itself, though, I see a classic mouse hold and annihilate combo there. Then some very strong, I guess, like standalone staple mons in Ursaluna and Incineroar, along with some extra support with the Sinistra and the Klefki.
Yeah, a lot of support on this team. The only 2 Pokemon that I see doing big damage are the Annihilate and the Blood Moon. You get some damage with the Incineroar, the Sinistra's Machagacha, and then even Klefki is packing the Dazzling Gleam. That's good for breaking sashes, doing some chip, but Blood Moon and Annihilate probably going to be coming to almost every battle together, which then means that your other 4 Pokemon are kind of filling in those last 2 slots. It means you have a little less flexibility, but a lot of power and honestly a lot of options in your team select.
Right. I also see that Sinistra is running Trick Room, so this team does have a Trick Room mode.
Yeah, I mean, let's actually take a look at that. If you were to bring a couple of different sets of 4, Mouse Ape feel like they have to come together. So you could do Mouse Hold, Annihilate, Blood Moon, and then one of the other 3. It could be Klefki, it could be Incineroar. What do you think you would build if you were leaving the Incineroar or Klefki at home? Because then you suddenly lose a lot of that debuffing an attack.
Right. Then you would just be left with classic melt. So in that case, what you would be trying to rely on the bulk from bulk up on the Annihilate and the Assault Vest on the Blood Moon and just try to sustain using Life Dew or the Hospitality, and just trying to be like a healing medic with the Sinistra.
Yeah, but because of that, it's how often are you going to bring Sinistra and Klefki together, right? It feels like, or maybe that's what this trainer has built the team for is, well, because you have so many supporting mons, maybe Mouse can be left in the back, not selected for a particular battle. Klefki, Sinistra, Annihilate, Blood Moon, for example.
Right. I do the Mouse Hold and the Annihilate both have quite a bit of speed investment. So going back to that Trick Room, I feel like if you wanted to run Trick Room, it'd have to be the bottom 4 then. But then you are left with just the Ursaluna as the attacker, which does not seem very favorable.
Yeah, you do have the healing from Sinistra, but that would mean you set up Trick Room with Sinistra next to Blood Moon, you switch out the Sinistra for the Incineroar, then switch the Sinistra back in later to heal. It feels a little awkward, but if it is kind of a protect the Ursaluna Blood Moon castle, if you will, it could work out. I mean, you would have screens, you would have Parting Shot, you'd have Fake Out and the Life Dew and Rage Powder, and of course Hospitality from the Sinistra.
Right. I guess that can probably work out if the opponent ends up being a physically bulky team or just like a squishy team in general.
Yeah, so with that, I think we can actually get to the battle. I'm getting word that our trainers are all set up. What's your money on? You got money on Charizard, you got money on Ape and Bear.
So Ape and Bear, the only ones that really had speed investment were Mousehold and Annihilate. I feel like trying to stop the Charizard from pressing its nuke button is going to be a tough challenge. We did have I believe it was Terra Fire, Annihilate, and Terra Water Ursaluna, which may be able to tank one of the pledge combos. But otherwise, I think they're gonna struggle to try to avoid damage.
Alright, our trainer looking to lock in Dragapult, Charizard, Torkoal, and I was not able to see that fourth mon. I think you're right, is that this team, the Kitakami Magic, a little soft on defending against special attackers, and this Sun team is click Heat Wave, click Weather Ball, click Fire Pledge plus Grass Pledge, and you really make your opponent sweat. And into the battle we go. Let's see what our trainer has selected. We have Klefki Annihilate versus Dragapult Torkoal. Interesting, that Klefki is not mouse-shaped.
It is not indeed. I guess early setup with the screens could be a good option here. On the Kanto Suns side, we have the Torkoal setting up the Sun and the Dragapult being able to swap out to let in the Charizard in the back.
Yeah, I mean, the Klefki's ability to set up screens, either reflect or light screen, is really powerful to let that Annihilate live those extra turns, build those Rage Fist stacks. Our opponent immediately going for the turn 1 Terra. He sees that he's fighting a Sun team, gotta turn Fire.
Yeah, that is going to help defensively. Definitely gives it a better chance of surviving any of the hits that are going to be coming its way.
Dragapult switching out with that U-turn, going into the Ursaluna. Interesting. Ursaluna next to the Torkoal. Not really sure what the synergy is there. Oh, Rage Fist, immune.
Now, was that a read or a lucky guess?
Torkoal not taking much from that Dazzling Gleam, firing back with a huge overheat, taking that Klefki down. No screens have been set up. That's probably going to hurt the Kitakami Magic for the rest of the game. And Torkoal with that eject pact switching in at the end of the turn for Charizard.
So now Kanto Sun has gotten both heavy hitters out, and Annihilate, being Terra Fire, is now weak to the Ursaluna's Earthquake.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that the Kanto Suns here have two Pokemon who take damage at the end of the turn. Flame Orb on the Bear, Solar Power on the Charizard, but in exchange for that, they have huge damage numbers, you know, between the Facade, the Heat Wave, the Weather Ball even. Our trainer, thinking about this Terra, do you Terra the Bear? Water Terra, not really going to do too much. But that Charizard's Fire Terra really kicks up the heat.
Right, and he's looking to Terra Fire? Possibly?
Or maybe just hold the Terra altogether.
Yeah, I think you wouldn't want a Terra on the Charizard if you wanted to Earthquake with the Ursaluna.
Smart, smart. You would end up accidentally knocking out your own Pokemon.
That said, what can the opponent do in this situation? Annihilate is gonna have to be worried about the Earthquake.
Alright, Charizard locking in that Weather Ball, going into the Blood Moon. See how it... That didn't take that all... That's an Assault Vest.
Was that a crit?
That was just a natural hit. And with that Mon down, Ursaluna's Earthquake is now a single target move. It's not going to take that decrease from hitting 2 Pokemon, and in it goes. Without that
almost a knockout.
Without that bulk up, that Annihilate was going down. That was rough to watch.
The problem here is that the Annihilate is slower than Charizard. A light tap from Charizard is going to knock him out already.
I mean, that Sinistcha is going to get him some health back, but it's not going to be enough. That Sinistcha does have Rage Powder, could draw the locked-in Weather Ball into it, and then Annihilate could fire back into the Charizard to knock it out, but I mean,
now,
then it's a 1v3.
Question here is, if the Sinistcha sacrifices itself, then could Drain Punch on Annihilate let it heal up?
But then Charizard still gets another turn.
That is true, and Ursaluna protected.
Weather Ball going into the Sinistcha either way. Sinistcha removed from the game entirely. Annihilate versus the world. Kanto Suns still has their full Pokemon. Drain Punch into the bear, protected. I mean...
Kitakami Magic, they got read like a book.
Has Annihilate hasn't made contact with a single Pokemon this battle, has it?
No, it was just bulk up into the Drain Punch into the Protect.
That is rough to see. You know, the game's not over here, but most of the cards are in the Kanto Suns' hand, affording has plenty of time to afford the switch out. Take it slow. No need to play rashly here. Charizard locking in that Weather Ball. Down.
And it's a knockout.
Down goes Annihilate. I mean, that it was rough to watch. Kanto Suns.
Unfortunately,
Kanto Suns up 1-0. So going into this game too, you gotta adjust if you're the Kitakami Magic, right?
You have to make adjustments. The problem here is I don't know how to adjust. The only thing that comes to mind right now is getting up Light Screen with the Clef Key to try to increase the survivability.
I mean, if you get the read that the opponent's going to lead with Charizard or even Torkoal, the fake out from the Incineroar can slow the opponent down. You know, if they lead with Charizard, maybe Incin goes for the fake out, and then one of the attackers, Annihilate or Blood Moon, just really targets it. Though Annihilate, it has Drain Punch, it has Rage Fist, there's not a lot that it can do turn one to hurt that Charizard. You know, Charizard's not bulky, but it's not frail.
Yeah, I think Kitakami Magic is gonna have to go full defense. I think Clef Key and Incineroar getting the screens up, debuffing the enemy, trying to reduce the damage as much as possible to give their attackers a chance to set up for Annihilate to build up the stacks for Rage Fist.
Yeah, you could go for an early game beat up, get Annihilate going, and then Sinistcha to heal it. I mean, just bringing Annihilate as your only attacker, then doing Clef Key, Mouse, and Sinistcha, that's unorthodox, probably not what the team was built for, but it could end up in a W. Alright, our trainers have loaded in Incineroar and Annihilate going against Venusaur, showing up for the first time tonight, and Dragapult.
So Dragapult, they assume, is probably going to pull a similar play to last time, and you turning out, probably to introduce Torkoal so that the Venusaur can get its chlorophyll boost.
Yeah, interesting. Had the trainer brought the Torkoal, then Incineroar's Intimidate would have automatically switched it out anyways.
That is an interesting observation. That said, on the opponent's side, we do not see the Klefki. I do wonder... Oh, Annihilate swapping out into Mousehold.
That's
interesting
an interesting
play
move.
there.
Dragapult going for the U-turn, switching into... Gotta be Torkoal, right?
Has to be Torkoal to get up the sun.
There was a little hesitation there on the trainer. Not quite a full second, but he was thinking about it.
This is gonna let the Venusaur move next. Sleep Powder coming out. The Mousehold having safety goggles, making its move essentially useless. The Parting Shot coming out. Is this gonna be a double swap for the Annihilate to set up the beat up?
Venusaur's looking left and right, going, am I the only one still on the field? We had a hard switch, we had a Parting Shot, and a U-turn.
A lot of movement on the field.
Turn 2, it looks entirely different than turn 1.
It does, and the Annihilate did come back out.
That is, Annihilate just moved over. You are correct, right?
He moved left.
Move left. And of course, this Torkoal itself does have that eject button as a held item. The moment he clicks overheat, he switches out. He's the slowest thing on the field. I mean, it feels like the theme of this match is just U-turn, overheat eject pack, hard switch. It's moving around. It's a very active battle.
Indeed it is. Sleep Powder not making contact. Annihilate protecting. The Mousehold taunting. Oh, that's going to seal the Sleep Powder on the Venusaur now. Overheat coming out. Dealing a very respectable amount of damage. And also proccing the eject pack to switch in, presumably, the Ace, the Charizard.
And there we go. It is 2004 all over again. Fire Red and Leaf Green. We've got two shiny Kanto Pokemon. They're going to hold hands, send that pledge right into Annihilate. And, you know, assuming that makes contact, he's going to have a Sea of Fire, 1/8 HP at the end of every turn to every non-fire Pokemon. You mind reminding me what that Terra type is on the Annihilate?
It is Terra Fire, so they could read the pledge and Terra Fire to try to mitigate as much damage as possible here. Which, there is a Terra coming out.
Terra going into
and it
the
is
monkey. Alright, does Annihilate live a sun-boosted pledge combo from a Specs Charizard? Because he didn't take the Weather Ball all that well.
The two moves have become one, and oh my god.
That looks like it's almost the exact amount as Weather Ball. We'd have to run the tape back, but oh, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
And then beat up. Is it gonna live? Is it gonna live? Don't crit.
Oh my god, could you imagine critting your own Annihilate? Okay, max stacks, Rage Fist.
Into the Charizard, please. Into the Venusaur.
Focus Sash Venusaur. Oh, I'm not sure if that's a mistake or a mispredict.
I feel like Charizard had to have been the priority target there. He is so far shown to be the main attacker. I don't mean any disrespect to the Venusaur, but Venusaur really only has sort of like a support image with like the chlorophyll, sleep powder, and setting up the pledge.
Yeah, I mean, this Charizard is locked into the Fire Pledge. Venusaur, locked out of the Sleep Powder and Protect, only has the Grass Pledge and the Sludge Bomb, but I mean, Sludge Bomb is not a bad move. Alright,
So
the
let's see.
Mousehold going for that Follow Me. There goes the
Sludge
bomb.
Bomb going out into Household.
Down it goes. Is this Charizard just going to do just a little bit of a love tap, and there it goes.
Fire Pledge, its supposedly weakest move outside of the Pledge combo.
Interesting thing there, though, is that Venusaur could not go for the Grass Pledge, had to go for the Sludge Bomb, otherwise it would have combined as a two Pokemon single target move. Incin switching in, and are we going to see the bear? Alright. 2v4.
Selena is out.
The game
So
is
now
not...
here, yeah, it's not looking good. We're back to the situation of Charizard can hit very hard, and it's faster than both Mons on Kitakami Magic.
So Incineroar does have access to that Fake Out. I believe the Ursaluna also has a priority move in the Vacuum Wave, so even though it's a slower team, there is some priority here. You can pretty quickly knock out that Venusaur. It does have the Protect, though. Actually, no, that it was taunted. And then that Charizard is locked into Fire Pledge. So while
That's
the
right.
Kanto Suns has a Pokemon advantage, they're in a weird spot. They still have control of the game, but not exactly this turn. There needs to be some repositioning. Incin going into the Charizard.
Vacuuming coming out, getting rid of the Venusaur before it can move. Yeah, you were right about the double priority there.
Sunlight just ended there, which... Was that lucky or
That is
unlucky?
unfortunate timing. Well, that's lucky for Kanto Suns, unlucky for Kitakami Magic. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna switch in the Dragapult there for a second.
I mean, honestly, you could. You haven't used your Terra. Dragapult has only used U-turn tonight, but it's a strong Pokemon. And even look at that, our trainer here. Well, I might as well switch out that Charizard, get it out of its choice lock, and go into the spooky dragon.
That is a very fair play.
If you get that Charizard and the Dragapult next to each other, that would be pretty scary. That Dragapult also Dragon Fang now. It is a little bit more flexible. It's not like you'd have two choice locked Pokemon on the field. Charizard coming back
although
in.
there are only two Mons in, so even if it was choice locked, I don't think it would make too much of a difference at this point in the game.
Instinct going for that knockoff, but there's no item, and Blood Moon, one hit KO on that Dragapult. All Dragapult did tonight was switch in or switch out.
Honestly though, I think that is its primary role in this team, and it has fulfilled it beautifully.
And Torkoal went for a quick little body press, do some chip damage. Now, here we are. It is a 2v2. Torkoal, you know, it can do damage, but it will be moving last. Charizard just taking KO after KO tonight. The
And it just
Ursaluna,
instantly locked in the Terra Heat Wave.
yeah, there was no thought here. Going immediately for that Terrifier. Let's see how much damage this is going to do. God, what a gorgeous Terra on his shiny Charizard. Helping Hand.
Helping Hand.
He's just going for that nuke button. This game is ending
Oh.
today. Crit right from that Vacuum Wave. In
Not
comes the
enough
Heat
though, and
Wave.
the Heat Wave comes out.
No miss. This Heat Wave hit both Pokemon And there goes the battle. I'd love to see the damage calc there on that Incineroar. You know, that was a not very effective hit, but there goes the game. The Kitakami Magic.
Given the Terra and the Helping Hand, I don't think there's a calc needed there.
Kanto Suns walking away with the match tonight. 2-0 victory. A little bit of a shorter one tonight, don't you think, Dokodomo?
Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't see a game 3. I think I would have liked to have seen a more defensive play from the Kitakami Magic to try to match the offense of Kanto Suns.
Yeah, that Klefki does have the access to the screens. The Incineroar does have access to the parting shot to slow down the opponent. But importantly, that Sinistcha and the Klefki, they're not taking fire moves well. You know, it's a risk bringing them into the battle at all.
That is true. I do wonder... Oh no, because of Torkoal and Ursaluna. I was gonna say, I do wonder if Terra Water Sinistcha to try to get the Trick Room off would be worth it, but maybe not.
I mean, if you get the read on the opponent, set up that Trick Room, and it's Dragapult's fast, Venusaur, Charizard fast, maybe that could have been a play. So overall, I think we gotta. Who do you think that the MVP on Kanto Suns was today? Is it even a question?
I don't think it's even a question. It was clearly Charizard.
It was Charizard.
He
I mean,
pulled his weight and then some.
Like you could make a case for Torkoal being, you know, the captain of a team in the way the permanent support, always setting up that Sun, but that Sun does nothing without Charizard coming in, taking those KOs. And I don't think Kitakami Magic was a bad team at all. It was just a weird matchup.
Yeah, I think it was just an unfavorable matchup. Besides the Trick Room, which they couldn't even afford to set up due to all the fire damage that is present in Kanto Suns. Besides that, they don't really have much speed control, so I think it was crucial that Klefki would be present to get the screens up, to provide that extra bulk to let them tank the initial hits and then counter with their own attacks instead of getting one shot.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I would love to see the Kitakami Magic again. I believe they have another game on the schedule, so we will be seeing them sometime in the next 2 weeks, I believe. Maybe they'll fare better against a more physical team.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see how much, or to see what kind of team it's going to take to stop the Kanto Suns here.
I agree, but you got to bring a rain team, I guess.
Yeah.
最終的な課題はありますか?
Yeah, I think the version 2 updates, specifically the Weather Ball on the Charizard, added a lot more benefit and flexibility to the team. And I do wonder if either or both teams are going to have another version of continue to improve as these battles go on.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see these teams continue evolving. Thank you for watching. If you've gotten this far into the video, please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next battle. Good night.
リザードン、熱風!
What?
Within its center, the temperature is rising to 800 degrees centigrade. This is what is technically known as a firestorm. This is a firestorm.